Now let's talk about something I know loads of filmmakers deal with. That guilt we get when we're out spending time making personal content. You've got client work to edit, you've got emails to reply to, you've got shoots that you need to plan for, but instead you're out filming cinematic sequences of a coffee shop or, a beautiful sunset or something like that. And while you're doing it, your brain is screaming to you, you should be editing, you should be working, this isn't making you money, or you're being lazy. And I'm telling you right now, this guilt is completely backwards. Because the truth is, personal content is not a distraction to your business. It's actually one of the biggest reasons your business will grow and you'll become a better filmmaker. Most filmmakers get to a stage where, they're getting consistent work, and that's the dream, right? You're like, finally, I've made it. People are paying me to do this. But then something happens. You get booked, you get busy, you start editing like non-stop. And slowly you stop making stuff for yourself because you start thinking, if I'm not editing client work, then I'm falling behind. Or worse, if I'm making personal content, I'm stealing time from my clients. And that guilt does come from a good place because it shows that you care for your client and that you want to deliver on time, you want to be professional, and that you want your clients to be happy. But what happens is you start living in this cycle where you're only creating something on, someone else's brief, on someone else's style or their vision or their deadlines. And over time, you start to lose the fun out of filmmaking. You kind of lose the thing that made you good in the first place. I've been there. There's been so many times where I've sat down to plan to, film something for my own personal content or a cinematic reel or, something for my own Instagram. And halfway through, I'm thinking, this is pointless. I should be working on a client edit. I should be doing something that actually pays. And I kind of almost used to think, personal projects were selfish and it was like I was being unproductive. And the moment I stopped making personal content, my work didn't seem to be getting any better. And that's not because I stopped caring, it's because I stopped growing. So here's what you might not realize. Every time you create personal content, you're training. You're literally sharpening the skill that your clients are paying you for. And the reason why personal projects matter so much is because personal content is doing something for you that most of your client work isn't, and that's creative freedom. Because when you're working with a client, you're thinking, what do they want? What fits their style? What's their audience? And, what the brand is about, and also what the brief says. But when you're creating personal content, you're experimenting and you're taking risks. You're trying new lighting, new framing, new sound design, new transitions. And you're not creating something to satisfy someone else. You're creating something to level yourself up. And that is where the growth happens. Client work can actually trap you, but that's not because clients are bad. It's because they're paying you for something that you've already proven that you can do. They don't usually hire you to experiment. They hire you to repeat something that looks safe, clean, and professional, which means if your whole career becomes client work, you get really good at delivering, you get really good at meeting deadlines, and you get really good at playing it safe. But you won't always get better as an artist. And that's why so many filmmakers hit a ceiling, because they get booked, they get busy, but their work pretty much stays the same for years. This is the part that most people don't understand. When you spend time creating personal content, your clients will win too. Because personal projects will make you better at storytelling, camera movement, composition, lighting, sound design, color grading, creative direction. And if you get just 10% better every month, your clients' videos will be 10% better as well, which means clients get a better result, your work looks more premium, and your portfolio levels up. So personal content isn't stealing from your business, it's actually investing in it. So if you're feeling guilty, I want you to reframe it. So instead of thinking, I should be editing client work, start thinking this is training. And instead of thinking this isn't proactive, start thinking this is sharpening the skill that people actually pay me for. Because you're not just filming cinematic sequences, you're building your eye, you're building your style, and you're building your identity as a filmmaker. And that's something client work alone will never fully give you. And here's the other part. Personal content is actually marketing, because personal content is usually the stuff that gets you the most attention, shows your true skill, and looks the most creative. Think about it. Most of your client work is restricted. You can't always post it how you want, or you can't always edit it how you want. But personal content, that's your shop window. That's where people go, wait, who made this? And then they click your page, and they acquire, and then they book. So personal content doesn't just make you better, it makes you more visible. And being visible is truly how you stay in the business. Now, I'm not just saying you should ignore client deadlines and, disappear off into the sunset. But what I am saying is if you don't make time for personal content, your creativity is going to get squeezed out. And when your creativity gets squeezed out, your business then just becomes a factory and you get burnt out. Even if it's just one personal shoot a month or a creative project every couple of weeks, that one session might improve your skills more than 10 client projects, because you're making decisions for yourself, and that's what develops your taste and develops your style. So if you've been feeling guilty about spending time making personal content, stop. Because the more you create with freedom, the better you get. And the better you get, the better your client videos become. And the better their videos become, the better your reputation becomes. Personal projects aren't selfish. They're not wasted time. They're not you slacking off. They are the reason you'll be a better filmmaker next year than you are today. Because in the long run, everyone benefits from it. If this video helped you, drop a like, hit subscribe, and comment personal projects if you needed to hear this today. And we'll see you on the next one.